Now at 9, the latest from Kansas City Police about yesterday's Victory Rally shooting. Plus how a safe haven box in Missouri is offering at-risk mothers an alternative for difficult decisions.
The head of the IRS squares off against congressional Republicans that are skeptical of the agency's push to audit the ultra-rich. I'm Hillary Vaughn on Capitol Hill. I'll have the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Kansas City officials are providing more information on yesterday's fatal shooting at the Chiefs' Victory Rally. Authorities say it appears the shooting stemmed from a dispute between several people. That dispute led to the death of one person, 43-year-old mother of two, who was a Kansas City radio personality, and injuries to 22 other people. Police say at least half of the victims are under the age of 16. Well, some 4-staters also witnessed yesterday's tragedy in Kansas City. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to 2 of them who shared what they saw, heard, and felt.
I never thought a situation like this would ever happen, so that I would be a part of. So I don't know how I'm going to process the next couple of days, because the part that really rubs me wrong is that he touched me and I was there. I mean, he was right there. Like, all the what ifs go through my head.
He, according to Webb City resident Tara Yariane, is one of the suspects of being involved in the Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting. She recalls the scary moments she lived alongside friends.
We started to walk, and then we hear this boom, 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 boom. And my friend's daughter was walking next to me, and she looked at me, she's like, was that gunshots? 30 seconds, it just wasn't very long afterwards. We hear this, move, 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 move. And then he ran into me, and I was like, ow. And then next thing I know, he was on the ground right in front of me by a police officer and by another just normal person tackled him.
Another 4 states resident, Daniel Ledoux, says he was only 50 yards from where the shooting happened.
Next thing I know, I'm watching paramedics, police, EMTs, and local security just taking off, running off to our left.
Ledoux took shelter inside the Union Station and then was moved to a parking garage.
Everybody's getting phone calls from family. Hey, I know you're there. You okay? This is what we're hearing on the news. Our cell service was pretty bad, but people are trying to figure out what's going on.
But figuring out what happened was and still is a process.
Pulled into the church parking lot. As I started walking to church, I relaxed, and that's when the eyes started leaking. That's when reality hit and going, yeah, it did happen.
While dealing with emotions, they hope for a better future.
Hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. Full confidence. The security next year at the parade is going to be so much different. And I'll be glad it's there after this.
I'm just very thankful that my son didn't witness, my 9-year-old son didn't witness any of this. I don't want to be locked up in the house for the rest of my life. We want to be able to go out and do things and do these kind of things and celebrate our Chiefs and, all the things.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Ledoux highlighted the bravery of law enforcement who were working in Kansas City. Whether you were there or not, seeing the images from that shooting can be traumatic, especially for children. A Southwest Missouri mental health professional says it's okay to not be okay after an event like that. When it comes to kids, she says it's important for parents to talk to them about the situation.
So it's always important to just go ahead and communicate with kids. Ask them how they're feeling, give them the opportunity to talk about it, and we certainly want to make sure that we're dispelling any rumors.
He also says if you notice it's hard to get back to your normal routine, it's time to seek professional help. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at weather.
So temperatures are sitting in the mid to lower 40s right now, and they're going to continue to drop as we move into the weekend. We're in for a pretty cool weekend ahead, back to our normal February temperatures. We see some clouds in the area, and those will increase as we move into the evening hours. The system that we're tracking moves in a little bit later tonight with some showers coming in after midnight. Then we're going to see some snow flurries in the morning time. Starting with a wintry mix on Friday, it'll lead to a really chilly Saturday with wind chill values below the teens. We're getting down to the single digits, and then back to a sunny weekend for the rest of the weekend, but I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, there's a safe haven box in Missouri where mothers can place their newborn babies. Fox's Kelly Hoskins shows us where to find it.
A newborn baby girl was placed into a safe haven baby box at the Melville District's Fire Station number 2 last Thursday. It's the first of its kind in Missouri, with the box installed last August. It's all a part of the comprehensive effort to provide a safe and legal alternative for at-risk mothers facing difficult decisions. Monica Kelsey is the founder and CEO of Safe Haven Baby Boxes and says the mother made a courageous decision.
I know that this does not come without pain. We may never know your story, but let me just tell you how many people love you, how many people have been praying for you, and it would be an honor to allow us to walk alongside you.
The Melville Fire Protection District first responders promptly retrieved the newborn girl from the Safe Haven baby box and provided immediate care.
6 months ago, I made a pledge to any woman that would have the courage to go through what I can only imagine would be just a horrible, horrible thing. I made a pledge that we wouldn't let her down.
The temperature-controlled incubator, discreetly integrated into the exterior wall of the fire station, allows mothers to place their newborn securely and anonymously. The exterior doors lock automatically, providing the mother with time to leave before alerting first responders or hospital staff inside. State Representative Jim Murphy is the driving force behind the legislation.
This journey hasn't ended. It's just beginning. I always thought when we put this box in that I hoped it was never necessary that anybody would have to use it. But I will tell you, I am so absolutely taken back at how important it was that this box was here when it was needed.
There are more than 200 safe haven baby boxes across 15 states. Well, the IRS is warning tax professionals to watch out for a new scam. They say the scammers claim to be new clients through an email asking for help with their taxes. It usually includes a malicious link or attachment the scammer claims is their tax information. When it's clicked, the scammers get access to the tax preparer's personal information and possibly that of real clients. Was it war on the wealthy or good old-fashioned law and order? Lawmakers on Capitol Hill sparred with the head of the IRS over the agency's new mission to make the rich pay their fair share of taxes. Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn has more from Capitol Hill.
Tax season is here, and while most of us are preparing our returns, the head of the IRS is being grilled by skeptical lawmakers on Capitol Hill. At a Thursday hearing, Commissioner Daniel Werfel talked about how the agency is preparing to process millions of tax returns, admitting they need to do better with digital security and customer service. But most of the hearing was focused on the fair share debate, with Republicans criticizing a new multi-billion-dollar effort to target high-income taxpayers.
The IRS is spending its windfall of $80 billion in Fantasyland claims about how much revenue the agency thinks it will generate from increased audits.
And new IRS data appears to back that view, showing the top 1% of taxpayers paid a record high 45% of all federal taxes in 2021. But Werfel is pushing back, claiming the agency is only going after those who break the law.
This should frustrate people. And we have so many honest Americans who pay their taxes on time. And these millionaires and billionaires are not.
Ultimately, the new IRS effort to, quote, restore fairness to the tax system will likely continue. Democrats are expected to make it an issue in the 2024 congressional campaign, despite criticism from Republicans who say the IRS should be spending money on services, not more audits.
The question of fairness in the tax system is at hand. We all have different opinions about it. I believe that you're there to oversee fairness.
And Werfel is asking lawmakers for another $800 million to close what he calls the inequity gap. On Capitol Hill, Hillary Vaughn, Fox Business.
Well, coming up, Ascension Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh will soon be under new ownership. Ascension plans to transfer ownership of the Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh to Mercy. Statement released by Mercy says Ascension and Mercy have entered into an ownership agreement. KOAM's Anthony Saviello spoke with Pittsburgh city officials and residents to get their take on the agreement.
With terms in place, Via Christi will soon be under new management. But is this really the best move for the city of Pittsburgh? According to City Manager Darren Hall, this transition is a positive step forward.
I think it's an exciting time. I have a lot of faith in Mercy. I appreciate what Ascension Via Christi's done over the years, and it does look like a growth opportunity to some extent.
For residents who utilize Mercy services, this could now make it easier for them to receive the health care they need.
My doctor wasn't allowed to work at Via Christi before, and now she will be because she's a Mercy doctor.
Ascension has strong bonds with the Pittsburgh State Nursing Program. In a statement released by Director Cheryl Geifer, she said, in part, Mercy Hospital and Ascension Via Christi Hospital have each supported Pittsburgh State University and its nursing students for the past 53 years, and we anticipate continuing our strong, positive partnerships during this transition and into the future.
Pitt State's obviously been a great partner over the years, and they will continue to be, and those nurses are just critical because they're the pipeline of staff that take care of everybody, and a lot of them do stay here. So I think it'll continue, and hopefully for them it'll be just more opportunities as well.
Ascension also issued a statement saying, in part, as a regional provider, Mercy is well positioned to carry on this legacy, serving the community through an integrated care delivery system. Now, the exact future of this facility and the health care that it will be able to provide to the city of Pittsburgh is unknown. But City Manager Hall and Pittsburgh residents seem confident that this transition will be positive and that it will make health care in the area more accessible.
I have no idea about the growth. I think it's positive for the city, though.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
You can read today's statement from Mercy at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later it's time for another Thunder Thursday. We're going to see how the team is preparing for games after the All-Star break.
Temperatures sitting in the mid to lower 40s right now, and they're going to continue to drop as we move into the weekend. Taking a look outside at our downtown Joplin Cornell Complex camera, we do see some clouds already moving into the area. No rain showers yet, and the snow will come in a little bit earlier in the morning. We're seeing the system just northeast of Denver making its way into our area. Starting tonight after midnight, we're going to see a few pop-up showers. Clouds do roll in. Right around midnight, we're going to see mostly cloud cover. Temperatures start to drop as we move into tomorrow, with the high being 44 in the morning. Then it'll continue to drop. We see some wind gusts picking up early Friday, gusting upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour as this cold front starts to make its way into our area. Then it'll continue to move across the region before the winds do start to lighten up after the cold front passes. Tomorrow, we're going to start off with some rain showers in the morning and then switching to a wintry mix with sleet and snow. Not heavy snow, just a light band, and we're going to take a look at that and see what time we can expect it to come in. Starting after midnight, we're going to see some pop-up light showers in the area, and then by 8 a.m. we start to see this snow band make its way into our northern counties. As it continues in, it's going to be sitting just off of the northeastern counties with a little bit of a rain mix with snow moving into the southern counties, and then just rain. It'll move out of our area rather quickly. By the afternoon, we're going to have clearer skies. Clouds do move out of the way by the evening on Friday, but these temperatures are going to continue to drop. We're seeing temperatures drop down to the single digits wind chill values. And the snow, you can't expect to see much, less than 1/10 of an inch. So it's just going to be a dusting in those northern counties. We're not going to see much. Now, these are the wind chill values we're going to see moving into Saturday, with them being in the single digits. So it's going to get bitterly cold on Saturday again. Temperatures getting down to the 20s with these wind chill values down in the single digits and the teens as we continue through the week. But the sun does come out, so it may help with those wind chill values. They are going to be chilly, but we will have the sun warming back up by mid next week. 67 on Tuesday, 73 on Wednesday. So although we're going to have some rather cold days ahead, we do have some warmth and sunshine looking ahead.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to a wintry mix or anything that resembles winter anymore. I'm ready for spring.
You're in luck because it's just going to be hitting our northern eastern counties.
Thank you.
Joplin is clear.
Yeah, rather it to get really hot instead. I said it.
Me
All
too.
right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, Crowder College today celebrated the end of its Love of Literacy book drive from the middle of January until yesterday. The college's Adult Education and Literacy Center collected books designed for kids ages 7 and under. Today, they distributed those books to area families. They also had crafts, snacks, and prizes at the distribution event. Jasper County officials today announced the completion of a broadband feasibility study. The study found 5,700 homes and businesses in the county have slow broadband speeds. It also shows many residents are unhappy with the speeds, reliability, and cost of their internet connectivity. Officials say fixing this problem is a top priority.
Certainly, the next step is the county's going to be reaching out to all the ISPs, all the internet service providers that are within the county, and have discussions with them to see about their willingness and their ability to be able to try to expand their services into these more rural areas that don't have broadband right now.
County officials are also looking into grants to help speed up connectivity. Coming up, what's behind a spike in auto insurance premiums? Gas prices are once again on the upswing. The statewide average in Missouri is currently $2.87 per gallon, and that's 8 cents more compared to last week, but down 20 cents from last year. The average in Kansas is $2.83 per gallon. Oklahoma is $2.81 and Arkansas is $2.90. As Americans struggle to pay for the basic necessities, car insurance is not giving anyone a break. Drivers are paying up to 20% more than they were just 1 year ago. Fox Business correspondent Jeff Locke is at a repair shop in Pennsylvania with what's behind the spike in premiums.
Well, I've got one word for you, and it's not inflation. The word is technology. Take a look at the inside of this. Is a Subaru Impreza now being repaired. That's Jose Ordonez. This is his repair shop here in the Philadelphia suburbs. Take a look at all the wires. These are sensors. In some cases, they are cameras that, if you break the car, it's great technology, but if you break the car, it costs a lot to fix. Take a look at the numbers on claims right now. The average claim is about $6,000. That's an increase of 64%. Since, in the last 5 years or so. And so those factors, technology that we pointed out, aluminum, the use of aluminum, harder to repair, more expensive. EVs cost more to repair as well, about $2,000 more for the average repair. And then distracted driving has led to more claims. We've got screens on our dashboards, and believe it or not, some people actually use their phones while driving. Take a look at the states where the insurance rates are the highest. That would be Florida, almost $4,000 for the average full coverage insurance for your car. New York also up there, Louisiana and Nevada. And then the cheapest place to insure your vehicle, that would be Vermont and Idaho. Not a lot of vehicles on the road, perhaps, in those states, as well as Maine. And then Ohio also, one of the cheaper states. Cars are great these days. They do all kinds of wonderful things. But if you break them, it costs a lot to repair them. In Doylestown, Pennsylvania, I'm Jeff Locke for the Fox Business Network.
Thanks, Jeff. Up next, we're going to learn about the newly discovered species dubbed skeleton panda sea squirts. A new species of marine life has been discovered in Japan. This is the skeleton panda sea squirt. Before it was even studied by scientists, it gained online fame from divers posting images of it. Pretty cool. It gained its name from social media because of its skeleton-like body, obviously, and the structure of it, and panda-like black spots. It wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that the first research paper on the squirts was published, marking it as a new species. They look like Halloween decorations. Pretty cool. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. How the Lowell Milken Center in Fort Scott is recognizing a legendary jazz musician. Plus, a judge rules on whether a federal hush money case against Donald Trump can move forward.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
The Lowell Milken Center for Unsung Heroes in Fort Scott, Kansas explored the impact of late 1800s Kansas on jazz. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Silver threads among the gold.
Lim Shepard, renowned musician and historian, was the guest speaker showcasing how old-timey Kansas had an impact on jazz.
Thinking I was going to find maybe 10 or 15 things to say, but I found a way to search the newspapers, and because quite a bit of it was written in newspapers. I was surprised to see how much was written in newspapers and then how many newspapers there were.
This presentation was about jazz musician James Reese Europe, the latest figure recognized by the nonprofit Lowell Milken Center for Unsung Heroes in Fort Scott. Shepard played jazz, ragtime, and blues, making sure to let the audience know that this is a part of American history.
I relate it to people's hometown because I want to get them thinking, oh yeah, we've heard of Potter's Grove, or oh yeah, there used to be an opera house here. And so let them know that that place on the corner there, that historic railroad depot, was a place that popular black musicians.
And to keep the music going, Fort Scott High School Jazz Band played during the cakewalk.
It feels like in my little corner in Kansas that we're the only jazz band, but it's like, no, there's like hundreds, if not thousands.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Well, the Lowell Milken Center features unsung heroes from various historical eras. Well, a rescue organization says it has shut down an animal testing lab in Nowata, Oklahoma. They claim the efforts of the group, Beagle Freedom Project, closed the doors on a laboratory that conducted testing for the flea and tick industry and saved the lives of more than 200 animals used for testing and breeding. The group has now taken over the 30-acre Nowata, Oklahoma property and facilities where animals were previously held, and plans to transform the space into Freedom Fields, a rescue, rehabilitation, and adoption center. The first of several criminal trials against former President Donald Trump is officially scheduled for next month, meaning the GOP frontrunner will be tied up in the courtroom as primary season ramps up. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has more from Washington.
It's not the decision Donald Trump and his legal team were hoping for Thursday. A New York judge officially scheduled his first criminal trial over allegations he paid hush money to adult film star Stormy Daniels for March 25th.
They want to keep me nice and busy so I can't campaign so hard, but maybe we won't have to campaign so hard because the other side is incompetent.
The trial is expected to last 6 weeks, keeping Trump tied up in legal meetings in courtrooms as dozens of states still have to vote in the GOP primary.
I'll be here during the day and I'll be campaigning during the night.
Meanwhile, in Atlanta, a judge is hearing arguments over whether to disqualify District Attorney Fani Willis from leading the Georgia election interference case against Trump. Willis is accused of lying about a romantic relationship with the prosecutor she hired. And if those claims are true, the entire case is at risk of being thrown out.
The bombshell is the witness who testified that there was a personal relationship before the prosecution of this case.
And if that wasn't already enough to keep track of, a verdict in New York's civil fraud case against Trump's businesses is expected as early as Friday. Republican challenger Nikki Haley adding her 2 cents on X, writing, "All of this chaos will only lead to more losses for Republicans up and down the ticket." The first step for Trump's criminal trial in New York is for the defense and prosecution to agree on an impartial jury. The judge says jurors will be informed ahead of time that Trump is the defendant. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
A bit later, we'll learn about an app offering some discounted prices at the grocery store.
All right, I know we're all looking forward to the snow we've got coming in tomorrow, especially after the heavy amount of snow that we got on Monday. I'm here to bring you good news. It's only coming into the northern counties and very light. Taking a look outside at our Cornell Complex camera downtown Joplin, we see the clouds already starting to move in. Winds are picking up, and tonight we're going to see some pop-up showers come in a little after midnight, right before this system starts to make its way through. Right now, it's just east of Denver, and it's going to make its way into our area early Friday morning. Around 8 a.m. is when we start to see it enter our area. But starting tonight, those clouds are going to roll in right around midnight, with the low being 44 degrees, and it's going to continue to stay like that and then drop as we move into tomorrow. So the low will be early Friday, and then, or a high will be early Friday, and then it'll continue to get lower as we move into the evening hours. Then we're also going to see some wind gusts. Those are gusting up to 30, 35 miles per hour due to this cold front that's pushing its way through our area. It's going to start to pick up a little earlier Friday morning, and then across the area we're going to see pretty fast winds by 11:30 a.m. and then they'll start to die down as they start moving through the north, and that cold front has made its way out of our area. Starting at 8, we do see some showers making our way into our area, and then as that system starts to make its way through down south, we're going to see that switch to a wintry mix. Some sleet possibly mixed in with that, which will be the most hazardous that we'll see with this. The snow is not going to stick to anything, but we could see some slick patches due to that ice. Now it's just sticking through our northern and eastern counties, with these showers popping up a little after midnight due to some low level rising, and then the snow starts to make its way in. Around 8 a.m. we start to see it come in the northern counties. It's not going to stick around long, and we do see a little bit of a wintry mix with just rain in our southern counties. As this makes its way off to the east by 11 a.m., we see that rain mix come in a little bit further south, and then it'll continue out. By 1 p.m. it's almost made its way completely out of here as those temps do continue to drop, and we'll see clouds clearing as we move into the evening hours on Friday. Now these temperatures are getting as low as 22 degrees for our overnight low on Friday, and the wind chill values are even lower than that. The snow you could expect to see is just in our northern counties and less than 1/10 of an inch, so it's just a light dusting. The biggest concern would be if we see any sleet falling and sticking to the roads, causing some slick spots. Now these wind chill values, like I said, into the single digits on Saturday. By 12:30, we're getting down to 3-degree wind chill values in Joplin, and across the area just the same single digits, and then we'll continue to warm back up as that sun starts to poke back out on Saturday and Sunday. Then we do go on a warming trend into next week. We're going to see temperatures warm back up to 73 degrees on Wednesday, followed by some more showers.
Oh, I do like the sound of a warm-up next week, but we got to wait till Wednesday to get that?
Well, it'll warm up a little bit before, but if you want to see temperatures in the 70s, definitely wait for Wednesday.
I guess it is still winter. We'll have to find a different way to heat up this weekend then.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up in sports, highlights from Carl Junction basketball's homecoming doubleheader against Ozark. Plus, the latest edition of Thunder Thursday to catch you up on one of the top teams in the NBA. John Dales has that and more up next.
It's Thursday night again here in the 4 states. That means it's time to talk Thunder basketball. OKC still hanging around the top of the Western Conference in second place, but there are 4 teams within 1 game of them. Now right now, the Thunder are enjoying an extended break, which you typically don't see during the middle of an NBA regular season. They last played on Tuesday. Their next game isn't until next Thursday. Last time out, though, the Thunder beat the Magic 127-113. That's their second win in a row, their 5th victory in the last 7 contests. Once OKC wraps up this big rest period, it plays 3 games in 4 days, the second of which you can watch on the 4 State CW. That is next Friday's game against the Wizards at Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 with tip-off at 7. In contrast with the Thunder, the Wizards are in the midst of a brutal season. They're 9-45, which is second worst in the NBA. Over to high school basketball in the 4 states. We're 2 weeks away from district tournament time in Missouri. Carl Junction is hoping to finish strong. The Bulldogs' penultimate home game of the regular season is tonight against Ozark. Carl Junction girls basketball hosts Ozark on homecoming. This one was back and forth all night. We pick it up at the end of the third quarter. Carl Junction up 3. Sydney Hampton hits a shot at the buzzer, and that would be foreshadowing to the fourth now. CJ goes inside to Kylie Scott. She turns around and scores, puts the Lady Bulldogs up by 2. A couple possessions later, Desi Williams with the rejection. Lady Bulldogs back on offense then. Kylie Scott turns around and scores, and she surpasses 1,000 points in her high school career. Work still to be done though. 3.5 to play. Williams drives and hits the layup to put CJ on top. Final seconds now. Carl Junction up by 1. Ozarks first shot misses. Down to a couple seconds left. So does the second, but the third at the buzzer is good. Hampton sinks it. The refs would discuss it and say she did get the shot off in time. Ozark stuns Carl Junction 46-45 on homecoming. Carl Junction boys basketball hoping to avenge the loss in the girls game. Ozark starts out hot. Hudson Roberts pokes the ball free. He can't finish the layup on the other side on the first try. Gets his own miss though and finishes to put the Tigers up 4. Carl Junction responds. Jet Hocutt finds Cooper Vides in the corner. He hits the 3. Carl Junction creeping its way back into it. Next possession, Vides again on the catch and shoot from the other corner. That's good from deep. Bulldogs up by 2. But Ozark loves to get out in transition off another steal. 6'4" Jake Garner rises up for the two-handed slam. Tigers up 9 in the second quarter. Carl Junction battles back all game, never goes away. Jet Hocutt off the steal, finishes in transition plus the foul. Bulldogs tie it at 61 in the final seconds, but their game-winning shot attempt just rolls off the rim. Ozark wins 64-62. That is about as close as you can get to winning 2 homecoming games and not winning either one.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah.
Well, better luck next year, I guess.
Yeah, and they still have, plenty of a couple regular season games left.
Yeah.
3 games left. They play Webb City later next week, so still some stuff to build on for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's for sure. I saw some height on that Ozark men's team.
Yeah, 6'4", 6'2", a lot of big players on there.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, thanks, John. Back with more news after this. An app allows businesses to sell food that they would otherwise need to throw away at discounted prices. Fox's Irene Snyder reports.
Nearly every store has some food left over by the end of the day, and a lot of times it goes to waste.
Bakeries, baked goods, grocery stores, if you think the volume of food at grocery stores, so anything from, like apples, oranges, fruits, to lettuces, to cheeses, anything with a date on it also can't be sold past that date.
And at Space in Phoenix, it's no exception. Owner Andy Kemp says he's often worried about wasting food and wasting money.
We'll make a certain amount a day. Sometimes we're a little too scared to make too much.
That's where the app Too Good To Go comes in handy.
The hope is to kind of reduce a lot of that waste towards the end of the day, to be able to kind of share with others, but also provide more meals versus throwing, really good quality food away.
The app allows customers to buy food that would otherwise be thrown away at a lower cost from participating businesses.
The benefit is for businesses to recoup what would otherwise be lost revenue. So if you think about any food that they would typically not sell throughout the course of business, they'll have to throw away. And instead, they can put it onto our app, make some money off of it, and then consumers can get great food at a lower cost.
Kemp says he starts selling the items at the discounted price around 3 or 4 o'clock on any given business day. Depending on the time, it could be 50% off or nearly a third of the regular cost.
Donuts, for our breakfast burritos that we have right now, all the way to kind of more of our breakfast bites as well.
For Space, it's not only a way to save some cash, but also a way to give back to the community.
There's a lot of waste in our industry, and it's gotten to the point where I'm scared to kind of make too much, and I don't know where. Just throwing it away just feels really wrong. And I come from a family where we give a lot too.
Well, coming up, the newest edition of Marvel's Fantastic Four is cast. We're going to tell you who's suiting up. Marvel introduces a new team. Jennifer Lopez reveals there's more to her story. That's all part of today's Hollywood Nation with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
How much time do I have? Weeks.
Keaton directs Behind the Scenes with Lopez and a fantastic way to celebrate Valentine's Day in the Hollywood Nation. Marvel fans were given the gift of casting news February 14th. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Eben Moss-Backrack will star in the studio's superhero film, The Fantastic Four. Marvel posted a photo of the four with a Happy Valentine's Day message, revealing the movie's July 25th, 2025 release date. Ariana Grande announced a new collaboration on her socials. The pop star posted a pic with Mariah Carey, sharing her Yes and remix will feature Carey, who she called the queen of her heart and lifelong inspiration.
Not all love stories have a happy ending.
Prime Video is going behind the scenes with Jennifer Lopez as the star releases her new album and corresponding film, This Is Me Now, A Love Story. It was announced there's also a documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, following the project's creation. It will stream February 27th.
Getting worse every hour. It's like a curtain coming down.
In today's First Looks, Michael Keaton headlines and directs the thriller Knox Goes Away. Keaton stars as a hitman attempting to make amends before his recently diagnosed dementia takes over, racing to save his estranged son from a vengeance-fueled mistake. Co-stars include James Marsden, Marcia Gay Harden, and Al Pacino. The film is in theaters March 15th.
I swore I'd never be like you. And here we are.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of animals at the Adelaide Zoo enjoying Valentine's Day treats. Yummy. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.